All right. So, welcome to another episode of the Atlanta Realtors Association Rundown, the number one podcast for realtors in Georgia. I am your host, Helen Hernandez Archer. And if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe so you never miss our interviews, insights, and conversations with the very best in the real estate industry here in Georgia. Today, we're diving deep into the blueprint of a true real estate powerhouse. Our guests today have closed over 400 million in lifetime sales, consistently ranking in the top 3% of the entire FMLS, and were named the number one team by the Atlanta Realtors Association for their massive 2024 sales volume. But what makes them truly special and unique isn't just their staggering numbers, it's how they do it. And that's why I'm so excited about talking to you guys today, because from your viral unscripted videos, chemistry that you guys have, that's what completely redefines your marketing, really. And you just started also a Rockstar program that we're going to be talking about. They have this duo have cracked the code on scaling into a dominant market force. Please welcome the agent owners of Point Honors Brokerage, leaders in both the local and national multicultural real estate community, and the undisputed champions of the Atlanta market, Tim Herr and Helen Pham. Welcome.
Hi, Helen.
Hi, good
Hey, hey.
morning.
So you were
Thank
recently named, thank you for being here.
Of course.
So you were recently, well, about a year ago, you were named number one team by the Atlanta Realtors Association. And in a shifting market, because we did have a shift in 2024, as well as last year, we have continued to shift since COVID. What was the pivoting or the definite pivot or strategy that your team executed that secure you to that spot?
I think we were pretty lucky over the years. And, real estate is never just one transaction, and it takes a while to sometimes accumulate the relationships. And I think coming from just being around in the business for so long, I think, Helen, we've been friends forever. And we all know that it's not just a one-time transaction. And we were very fortunate to have new agents, experienced agents that joined our team. And they came with the depth of knowledge and their client base and their roster base, and we were able to capitalize on that and kind of really and nurture those relationships. And they ended up turning into one of the biggest transactions that Helen and I and our team members have done, and that helped us propel us into into that honor. But we've been consistently ranked high within the Atlanta Realtors circle, but we were very fortunate to have a really big transaction that kind of propelled us to that level.
That always
yeah,
helps, but it's definitely you said a word very important that I just caught on it, and it means you hired experienced agents in your team,
Yeah, I
and I
mean,
think that's the key.
yeah, and it's funny. We meet a lot of our team members or people who want to join our team or our brokerage from just co-oping with them. And it's actually a really good experience that they've had, or they're like, hey, you made the transaction really easy, or vice versa. And it ends up, it's not like we send an email saying, hey, join our team. It's like, hey, wow, I really like the culture. I really liked working with you. Can you give us some more information about how, what do you guys do? And we that's how we kind of grew our team organically. A lot of agents came to us and say, "Hi, I want to join," and I think that's the majority of the time how we grew our team anyway.
Helen, any additional comments to that?
yeah. I mean, I don't think there's really one magic strategy or anything. We just do what we've always been doing. And Tim has been doing this for 16 years, myself 10. And we don't believe in really reinventing the wheel. We There's no marketing tricks or anything. We just nourish our relationship with
Hmm.
our people, our clients, especially our past clients, our friends, our circle. And when the market is tough, I don't think Tim and I really try to convince people to buy or sell, but instead we focus on helping them understand the market and make the right decisions for their family, right? If we don't think it's a good idea, we'll be honest and say, maybe we can wait until next year. So I think building that trust is important. And we are very fortunate to have a great circle of supporters that have been with us throughout the years. And I think that's how we sustain our team.
Yeah.
Well, that leads me to the next question because, when the broader market gets noisy or anxious, how the two of you protect your team's mindset and maintain that daily operational discipline? Because, yes, like you just said, Helen, sometimes it's not the proper time for them to sell, but, in 2024 and 2025, there was a lot of that. And
Mhm.
how do you continue to keep the sales coming in without hurting that relationship and that trust?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things when it's a downturn, you're able to take a breather and you're like, let's take a look at our systems and the technology that we're using. So during COVID, Helen and I probably tested out probably 20, 30 different systems and apps, right? Because we had that downtime, we had the luxury of the downturn. All throughout the year, whenever we have a little bit of a lull, it's not really a lull because Helen will send me on Wild Goose Chase delivering cakes to clients that we have, that's celebrating their third
It's
year,
never
fifth
a dull
year.
moment. It's
Right.
never
It's
a
like,
dull
hey,
moment in
yeah,
real estate.
Helen's like, hey, so and so to celebrate their fifth year of their anniversary of their house. This is a good time to check in. So we go pick up a cake, we go hand deliver a cake to the house because we sold them the house. Right. So we do a lot of like, so there's always stuff to do that you can always reach out to your clients. And Helen's really good about that, and I kind of just do what Helen tells me to do because she's more of the marketer and kind of the great big picture thinker in terms of how to, kind of constantly touch our clients, and be top of mind. But I think that's kind of what we do. It's not that it's the daily discipline of making sure no, yes, responding to emails and doing our thing, but making sure that we also what is a way to kind of talk to our clients, make sure that we're top of mind beyond the emails, beyond the the digest that you send about how expensive or how much equity they made on their house. It's something a little bit more personal.
Do you guys
Yeah.
have weekly meetings, accountability? What's your process?
Between me and Helen, we do. We have a
Yeah.
consistent. We block off about 2, 3 hours every Monday, and then any team members that would like to join are absolutely. So we have more of an open door policy. We don't, we kind of run a loose team in the sense that we don't require you to come to team meeting. I mean, it's nothing like that. But if you have a question, we have our team members that sit in the office with us for like 2, 3 hours, and they ask a lot of questions. We go through their
Mhm.
files and that's kind of the way that we operate because every single agent or every single team member kind of operates very differently and they
Mhm.
respond differently. We have a lot of I's or a lot of E's and they want to have a different experience. So yes, we do we encourage them to come to the office, we encourage to talk to them, we do a lot of Zoom, we do a lot of phone calls, FaceTime, do whatever you want, whatever works for that agent, but it is more of hey, let's talk when you have, and let's talk about and your year because I'm the one that issues the 1099. I know the production numbers that you have done, so hey, say hey, it's do you want to do more, do you want to do less, like kind of where are you in the mindset. So we do have mid-year check-ins, periodic check-ins as well, so we do have to kind of keep our team in check. So but it's everyone has a different style, we realize. So it's a little different, I guess. It's a little more personalized.
Yeah.
Now, earlier this year, you introduced the Rockstar program,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to hear all about it because I'm going to steal it from you too. I
Yeah.
love those personalized boxes. I saw that you created a whole system. I want Helen
Yeah.
to tell me all about it because I know that you said that she's the marketer and probably was her idea, was it?
It was. It was our idea.
So tell me all about it.
So the Rockstar program, we started this year and we're so excited about it. Um, Tim and I, we always try to come up with ways to stay connected with our clients, especially our past clients. And like I said before, nourish that relationship. And we were thinking, well, what else can we do to show them how much we appreciate them? So we came up with the Rockstar program where for all the all the supporter that sent us clients, we signed them up for this program. And we sent them, I guess, kind of like a subscription, send them boxes of surprises. So our very first box actually came from Daisy May, one of our very good friends who baked these amazing pastries and cookies and cakes. And so to two birds, one stone, right? We were able to support Daisy. We came to Daisy, hey, we have this list of clients and we want to send them treats. Can you give us X amount of boxes so we can fill our own Rockstar boxes and either mail or deliver them to our clients? And that way we promoted Daisy. We put a whole bio of Daisy's business in our box so that our clients are aware of her too. And these surprises are fun. Our clients, they love them. We don't tell them that we're coming. We just kind of knock on the door. Hey, we have something for you, and
And
just
you
a
hand
little
deliver
drop by
all of
like
these?
that.
And you hand
Sorry,
deliver all of these? You hand deliver
uh,
all of these?
Tim and I hand deliver the ones that are local, but if they are out of state, then we have to mail them. Yeah.
Oh, you even have out of state and you send them out of state?
Yes, we've had people from out of state that send us clients, or we've had a seller from Georgia who moved to another state, so we stay in touch with them.
And on average, how many do you send every month?
Oh gosh, it's too many because I usually get a delivery delivery map uh,
Yeah.
throughout the year. So the Rockstar program is something that we do look at, it's not just, people who give us clients, but it's also like, hey, some people that we really want to highlight and thank over the years too. And they're
Hmm.
very appreciative. I mean, when we did the Daisy's cakes, we were about to send out our next set, and
Hmm.
because it highlights the businesses too, they're very, very thankful. And they actually end up giving us probably more than what we ordered, and it's a small investment, but for them it's also a way of because it's small businesses, we don't really do
Yep.
Starbucks gift cards or anything like that. If we
No,
do,
no.
it's more something a little bit more more local, so they can try out the business and stuff like that. So quite a bit, I think, because I saw the number of boxes under Helen's desk the other the
So
other
you
day.
order the box. So you order
We
the
do.
box and then you fill it out.
We bought these little boxes, and we make the box.
Okay. And it's interesting that you said that it's a local business. It's not a
Yeah.
Starbucks card. I think it's a fantastic idea of
Yeah.
colliding both the business owners, the small business owners, which we are,
Yep.
and we're putting them in front of our clients. So you're basically helping, like you said, it's a win-win because you're helping the business owners and you also are surprising your clients with
Yeah.
goodness and exposing them to a new business that they may not even know. And so you're referring your clients to that
Yeah.
business as well. So it keeps it moving forward. I love that. And
Helen, didn't the second box, though we haven't sent it out yet, but didn't she reach out to us saying that she wanted to be a part of the box the second
Yes,
time?
yes.
Yeah.
So Natalie, she has a few little shops here in Metro Atlanta selling K-beauty products. And she saw our boxes for Daisy and she said, I want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Let me be a part of this. Come to my shop and we can look around to see what we can give your clients. So Tim and I did, we came in and she hooked us up. She gave us so much just cream and sunscreen and all these uh, K-beauty items to put in our boxes. So we're so excited to send that to our clients soon. And our
that's
next one
awesome.
actually is chocolate. Another friend of ours saw that we're doing this, and she said, "Hey, come by and grab some chocolate
Yeah.
boxes for your clients." So that's what we're doing next.
We did
And I
one.
guess you
We reached out to one, and then the rest of them have all been kind of coming and saying, "Please, can we be a part of it? Can we be a part of it?"
Yes.
Which is great.
and you promote it also. You promote it on social
We do.
media. So these other people are coming to you, hey, I want to be part of that box
Mhm.
because they're seeing it that you're promoting it. I love it. I think it's such a brilliant idea. And even though it may be a little bit of extra, like you said, because between the box and the time to deliver it is such a luxury surprise effect. I think
Yeah.
it outside of the box, outside of the box, literally, because you are surprising your clients and it's that surprise effect, and you're helping the community as well. I love it. And I'm gonna take some notes here. I do a
Yeah.
lot
No,
for our clients. I love the box that you even decorated
we do.
with the theme Rockstar program. So for those of you who are listening, take a look at Point Honors and you will see in their social media, they have the Rockstar program system and the boxes. So take a look, get ideas and get inspired, because these are the things that sets us apart. And these
Yeah.
are the things that set you to be such a successful team. And now going back to your systems and managing over 400 million in lifetime sales requires serious backend structure. I mean, that's a lot. And now you're growing your team because you are the leaders of the team, but you have your own team between you,
Right.
Tim and Helen. Now, what systems or CRM habits are you absolutely non-negotiable for your team?
I think this is tough because it depends on the generation that we work with. Because there we have team members that are younger, we have team members that are older, and they're set in their ways, and we have very impressionable Gen Zs who want to get into business. And CRM is only as good as you use it. So Helen and I can mandate so many different systems. And and again, Helen and I do have our own. We have but at the end of the day, the CRM is only as good as the agents that are using it. So
Yep.
it is a tough process that sometimes, again, Helen and I have their own, we built our own CRM for years. We do have, we've tested them all out during COVID, and we kind of stuck with one and we like what we use. But it is tough, even for trying to even implement something a little bit, a little change to the systems, because the CRM is never perfect, right? And so we use Chime, we use ClickUp, we use Folio. So there's so many different techs that we ended up kind of merging because we like uh, certain set aspects of different systems. Like ClickUp is a checklist, and it helps. We make different checklists for different clients. Again, if it's as a team member, or if it's me and Helen's clients, or if it's for our TC, they can easily go in there and make sure that they've done everything, even if it's so mundane as saying, "Hey, did you order a Supra? Did you put a sign in the yard? Did you order the photography?"
I'm
Sometimes
taking notes.
yeah, I
I'm
mean,
taking
sometimes you
notes.
forget, right? You just don't know, and it helps if there's a new team member, or if there is someone who's established coming into our team, or just even for our TC, because again, sometimes they get so overwhelmed with what they have to do. And so again, even for me, so if I go on vacation and Helen go, or Helen's taking over, and I have to come back in, I can look at the whole checklist of where we are. So it's not just like, hey, knowing where the contract is. It's like, oh, we haven't reached out to the client. It's been 6 weeks. Hey,
Okay.
are they in the CRM? Oh, hey, have we sent them the BombBomb video saying, hey, we just want to check in. Are you doing well? It's been a month. So the whole ClickUp process for us, or the checklist process for us, I think is a little bit more important than just more than the CRM, because CRM, we have the contact information, we have it all, but it's really about, as you can see, like Helen and I, we really like to do the follow-ups, because Helen and I have been in the business now a little bit longer than a lot of some of our agents. It's time for the touch up. It's for the 5 year mark, the 6 year mark, because before you would sell your house, in 3 years, you probably buy something else. But now it's taking longer. People are in their houses for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, right? And for us, it's because we've been around for that long in the business, we can start reaching out to those clients that have been possibly needing something bigger, or downsizing, or they've had a family change. So we're kind of shifting focus right now, not so trying to go after some of the newer clients and trying to do all that. We welcome that, but really our business comes from the referrals and from our past clients that we've kind of just maintained relationships with over the past. And some of them we haven't, they totally forgot about us. They're like, hey, oh my God, thank you for the cake. I haven't thought about you guys in forever, but wow, it's been 5 years. This is great. So it actually gives us an opportunity to talk to our clients too.
So you reconnect. So it's interesting that you say that, because my assistant I'm sorry, one of my assistant that just became a salesperson in my team, she's been in the business for 21 years. And I said, okay, we're going to build from the ground up and we're going to start calling your database and reconnecting. And she's like, but Helen, how do I reconnect with people that I haven't talked in 5,
Mhm.
10, 12, 15 years? How do we do that? And so listening to you, maybe it's just a matter of like, hey,
Simple.
here's some cookies or
Yeah,
a video.
simple.
Hey, I'm sorry I haven't connected with you before, but I am here. And that's the Buffini script. It's like, I'm sorry I haven't called you in a long time, but I was thinking of you and I just wanted to reconnect with you. And you're not asking for referrals. It's just a
No.
reconnection human side, right? And you don't have to ask for anything. It's just reconnect. Is that what you do?
Yeah, so Helen has a, in on top of our database that we have, Helen is very good about like touches that are not like Christmas. For example, we do like Mother's Day presents, we do Father's Day presents. So we are able to kind of touch, we don't do the birthdays because we can't keep track of everyone's birthdays. I mean, we don't remember kids. Again, I'm really bad with, but Helen, if we see them on social media saying that, they had a child, Helen is very good about sending them a small child gift, saying, hey, congratulations, stuff like that. So the reconnect kind of happens kind of organically because Helen and I don't like to do the cold call saying, hey, oh my God, I haven't talked to you in forever. It's more of, hey, happy Mother's Day. And we send them a small little Mother's Day present or a Father's Day present. And that's kind of how we keep our touch bases, and it's very subtle. I mean, we don't
So
have to
you
talk to
don't
them. Yeah.
So what I hear you saying is, and Helen may, because she's the marketer, so you don't spend money on leads, you spend money on gifts to your client.
Yeah.
Right. We
So
spend
you,
money on our clients
Yeah.
to
On our client.
just, yes, to just send them little surprises. Like Tim said, baby shower we saw on social
Mhm.
media. Hey, let's send them a little something. It's not much, but it means a lot. And I like to shop. So fortunately, Tim allows me to do all the shopping. And I like to just browse online. Hey, this one client would love this, or this will be cool to send to the seller because of their hobbies or whatnot. So that's what we like to do. We just personalize our relationship with our clients.
Yeah,
that's
Helen has
awesome.
like a ton of baby books in our office. So whenever we find out there's someone has, had a baby, she makes a little baby package and we go deliver the baby book. It's usually a realtor book. I think the last one was like how to, a baby grown up
Uh,
to be a
the
realtor.
the ABC of real estate.
Yeah.
So it's a little baby book.
Oh
Yeah.
my
That's
God,
So it's
that's
it's
funny.
it's small. It's very small stuff.
yeah.
But again, that's how we take it. So we don't really have to call or send text and kind of annoy our clients. We're just like, hey, happy Mother's Day, or congratulations on your child. We just wanted to say hi. We saw that on social media. And so for our introverts out there who don't like to make those calls, this is a fantastic way of just kind of keeping in touch. And it could be just sending them, even like a small, I think someone's like sent pumpkins from our teams, like but some of our bigger clients, right? And so you can kind of collaborate. I've known other team members, well, not from our team, but other, they work with their lenders and their loan officers to to do a pumpkin pickup day for Halloween,
Mhm.
right? So it's very small cost items that clients really appreciate just throughout the year. Helen and I, we've done appreciation, like, get-togethers and stuff like that. We were very thankful. Was our 10-year anniversary for our firm, and a lot,
15.
15 years, and a
Oh
lot of
wow, how
clients
can
came
you
out.
forget that five?
Yeah, I know. But a lot of clients came out just to say, that we haven't even seen in so long. And they're just like, hey, just wanted to come and say hi. Um, and they just, they had they had a drink on us, and when they were, it was nice to see a lot of our own clients and our vendors kind of come out just to appreciate. But I think it's because we do the touches throughout the year as well.
Well, so you're definitely a marketer because it requires a lot of details. I'm more of do the party and invite everybody because I just, I have little kids, so it's hard for me to do that so detailed and sometimes those gifts stay in my car for like 10 days and they're chocolates and they're not worth anything. So sometimes I have ended up actually eating the Girl Scout cookies because I deliver Girl Scout cookies,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I still have 10 boxes in my trunk, and I just end up giving it to my kids because I'm like, I just can't keep track. Sometimes it gets busy, but I love the systematic that approach that you have to this customer care, because this customer care is really caring for your clients and surprising them and going the extra. And I'm assuming that you're not going to be like, hey, here's a gift. I'm never too busy for your referrals, right? You just give the
No,
gift.
yeah. I mean, when I was doing the cakes for the 5 year, because every month we have someone getting their 5 year anniversary of the house get a cake. So and we let them know, we're like, hey, so this is kind of how we clean up our database. We check to see if they still own the house, right? So we make sure that we're not going around delivering a cake to a random person. And if they sold the house, then we take them off the database because we know that they didn't use us to sell their house, which is okay. That happens. We don't we can't hold them against it, but we do contact them first and say, hey, we have a small gift. Can we drop it off? And usually we try to figure out, if we're doing showings that day in that area, we kind of figure out the date that we can drop it off. And again, if it's something that we can just drop off, we'll just drop it off, take a picture and send it to the client, be like, hey, don't forget to check your front door. We left something for you there. Or I'll ring the doorbell and kind of give them a gift and just say, hey, just wanted to stop saying hi. Here's your cake or here's your present. And it's literally 2 minutes because usually you're running to your next appointment because and then you get the text back saying, oh my God, thank you so much. So it is a little more systematic. We try not to just deliver cakes just for the sake of delivering cake or whatever it is. But we try to say, hey, I'm going to be in Brookhaven today. Let me go take care of this, this drop off, or I'll be in Smyrna today. And so you can kind of plan it a little bit better. And there are some clients who say, hey, you know what, I'm working every single hour. Just drop it off, anytime. And we'll just do that. So we'll
I
honor
love
what the
it.
client wants.
I love it. Now, you both have an incredible natural chemistry on camera, including the bloopers. Your bloopers are hilarious. How did you transition away from your standard stiff corporate real estate videos to showing your true authenticity?
I'll take this one
I
just
think,
for just a quick sec, but it's because again, we found that we have higher engagement. Helen tracks our engagements, and the real estate teaching, I guess, that you can do to a client, they all and we all do it, right? You're like, here's the market's great, or market's, whatever, whatever it is. But we have more engagement when we do something a little different. And I think that's where Helen comes in. I kind of follow her lead on that. And because we kind of shied away. I think Helen's trying to ask, we shied away from our traditional wine about real estate, where we drink wine and wine about real estate, into something a
I
little bit more
love that.
professional.
When I used to drink, I used to sit and listen to you guys.
Yeah.
Seriously, I love the wine with you guys because it was just natural and casual and just very easy. Nothing was scripted. And then
Yeah.
it transitioned to a little bit more of unscripted, right? So, okay. Now,
Yeah, Helen will make me. What is she? She makes me. She has her own things, but she's like, here's your script for today, and we're trying to film, and I'm like, this is the first time I've seen the script today, so it has to be unscripted because usually if I have time to plan, then it goes it's not what she wants, or it's not the vision that she wants.
do you see more
yeah.
success sharing this? Do you see more success sharing the screen or when you do videos individually?
Well, it just depends on the content, I
Mhm.
think. We find that the more serious videos actually don't get as many views. People aren't really looking for television anchors, right? Tim and I sitting there like, oh, today's market is blah blah blah. No, we just try to be our silly selves and just have fun with it. So I think those, especially the bloopers, they get more attention than the actual serious content that we put out.
Now, how do you filter and decide what your audience actually cares about? I mean, do you get feedback from people? Do do you just do your own ideas? How do you figure out and decide this?
We have, so our viewers actually message us, "Hey, I love this video," or sometimes especially our elf video. Remember, Tim? It was one of our clients, yeah, our friend who say, "Hey, you guys should do this. This would be fun." And Tim was like, "We gotta order some elf outfits," and I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Because we're doing this video." So
Oh
that's
my
what we
Wow.
did, and yeah, so our ideas come from our clients too, our viewers too, where they message us and they say, it'd be funny if you and Tim do this. So we do it.
I
Yeah,
love it. Now,
yeah.
what
It's really,
percentage,
yeah. I forgot
what
about that.
the elf, so what percentage of your business actually comes directly from video versus traditional referrals, you think?
Oh, I
It's
don't
hard to
know.
say. I mean,
Hard to say.
I think 90% of our business still come from referrals.
Yeah.
And our videos strengthen the referrals, but I don't think the referrals are because of the videos, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
we, like Tim say, we try to stay top of mind. We try to be present with our viewers, and we try to post as often as we can. Um, and they watch our videos and they are reminded, even if Tim and I are just talking about random things like what we did yesterday, or a celebration of some sort that has nothing to do with real estate. But our viewers already know that Tim and I do real estate. They know that we do property management too. So it's just to be in front of their screens and to be a part of their social media process when they view their content. That's all we need, is just to stay in touch that way, basically.
And for the agent listening, because we now have to do videos basically for our business. It's part of our business plan. But for the agent listening, do they need to replicate the heavy video to succeed? Or
Yeah.
is video primarily a tool to establish credibility and build your resume before they even call you?
I mean, if so, the way we film our videos, and this is kind of, I'm going to answer that question kind of tangentially, that Helen and I typically film within 1 or 2 days off of the whole month content. So if we think of it that way, it is a tool, right? So yes, there are some videos that we will be like, oh my gosh, there's something that's trending, we need to do it now before someone else kind of does it. But majority of our videos are they're pretty pre-planned and they've already been filmed either mid-month or at the end of the month, so we have enough production, time to, if we don't like the video, or we can edit the video or stuff like that. So that I hope that answers the question. If you're new in the business or you're trying to start video, you don't have to do it, eh, you know, for every single one. And you can try to do it, and you'll see Helen and I, we may wear the same clothes, or you may see the same wine bottle somewhere, or whatever it is, but we do try to change so it looks like it's a different day. But we typically just set aside a couple hours, again, during the lull times where we have a break, and just take care of all the content. So whoever's kind of coming into video for the first time and you're shy, you can always record yourself. And again, the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get. And if you see some of our videos, like our real estate videos, you don't even see me and Helen, right? Because a lot of the house videos, like we're not comfortable, doing sometimes, but we're more funny and goofy, right? So we do a lot of more of like the fun videos, and so you'll see a lot of us doing that. And so you just have to figure out what makes sense for your business and what you're comfortable with, because if you're uncomfortable, it's not gonna look good, right? And see, that's
Are
just
you
kind of what you have to
mostly
do.
are you mostly on Instagram or TikTok?
We're Instagram. We're
Okay.
Instagrammers. Yeah.
And and back to your topic in regards to when you're shy, do you think that agents should partner up on video content, or do you think they should do it on their own, or both?
But I mean, again, if we have agents that are shy and they can just do voiceovers, right? So let someone else do the video. Like you don't have to necessarily be on camera, right?
Yep.
And or you get someone else, get your kids involved. One of our team members was really funny the other day. We're having lunch together, and he's like did a really short video saying when you eat lunch with fellow realtors, and we're all on our phones, right? So it was like this 10-second like pan over instead of eating. We just ordered, and Helen and I, me, and we're all on our phones because we're doing something with work, right? Because it's a lunch period. So, he even got a couple of comments and kind of laughs out of that. So it's something small, right? So again, you don't necessarily have to be the one on camera. But if you have something that you want to film or you think it's pretty cute or funny, encourage it, and just kind of getting out there and getting. The more you do it, the more you'll find what makes sense for you.
It's like exercise.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
start. Just start. And do you edit your own videos or you have somebody that does that?
So we used to edit our own videos and they were awful. So now we have a team to help us with our videos.
Okay, that's awesome. And that's how you progress. You start doing it them yourself, and then eventually you progress into having somebody edit them for you, for sure. Tim, you have been a prominent leader here in Atlanta, but mostly in the Asian American real estate space, not only here locally, but also nationally. How has a deep understanding of specific cultural nuances and generational wealth goals shape the way your team serves your clientele?
Yeah, so I'll be the first to tell you that, most of our clients tend to be second generation, Asian, they may be Asian Americans, but we do have a big, chunk of non-Asian clients. But majority of our team actually is bilingual. I think we have a couple of agents in our office that are not. And so we do get a lot of inquiries that way saying, hey, how do I work with a certain ethnic client? And so we co-op a lot with other agents in the Metro Atlanta area, kind of, or we give a lot of referrals. I have someone just emailed me the other day, like, hey, do you have someone who speaks, do you have a loan officer that speaks Vietnamese? We do actually have that. So do you have a closing attorney that may speak, Mandarin? So we are able to kind of help a lot of the our fellow coworkers and our fellow realtors in Atlanta kind of help them, give them recommendations on who they could use. But at the end of the day, while I am also Asian American, and that is a big selling point of kind of working with someone who may speak Korean or Chinese and stuff like that. At the end of the day, I think they just come to us because we have such a depth of knowledge of not only the community but also kind of helping them, like even the parentals, right? Like, we get clients and like, hey, my mom's trying to buy a house, and can you help me? She speaks Korean or she speaks Mandarin, right? So I may not speak Mandarin, but someone that I know, maybe not from our team or someone else, they may speak Mandarin, or again, inspectors and stuff like that. So again, something that you don't want to violate the law because you're not an expert in, and so you just kind of refer it out. But that's kind of what we can help you with as well.
Yeah, and it's the same in the Latino world,
Hmm.
Hispanic. Sometimes it's not even about being Hispanic or the language. It's
Yeah.
more about the culture. It's that cultural sensitivity that makes us different and
Yeah.
unique. And the same with you. It's probably sometimes they probably know English, but they rather know that they could fall back into Korean or Chinese or Mandarin. And then the same with my clients is they live in here. They probably have been here for over 30, 40 years,
Hmm.
but they just want someone who will culturally represent
Yeah.
them the best way, right? So it's a cultural sensitivity to it. And
Absolutely.
I've known you for 16 years since you started,
Yeah.
because I've been doing this for 21
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
So I understand that. And now, one last question I have for you, the two of you, and knowing how successful you've been, I'm assuming that a lot of brokerages have tried to recruit you because you're a independent brokerage.
We are.
What have made you decide to stay as an independent brokerage rather than perhaps be part of a bigger corporation or brokerage or franchise for that matter that may want to give you a bigger name?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that Helen and I have talked about for years is, do we affiliate, do we brand ourselves? But we've noticed we have a lot of friends that have moved agencies and moved brokerages, right? And we're really big about branding ourselves. And so we tell our team members and our agents in our office that it's really about branding yourself, and do the bare minimum that makes the brokerage not get in trouble and you don't get in trouble with, with Greg. But, you need to learn that if you leave the team, or if you start your own team, or if you want to leave the brokerage, you need to be able to make sure that you maintain your set of clients, right? And, it's not, they don't come find you because you're with a certain brand. They come find you because of because of you. And I think that's one of the key factors for us is we wanted to be nimble. And again, when we want to implement something, we do it. If we want to try something, we try it. And we want to have that autonomy. That may change one day, but for now, all of our team members and our agents in our office are, they kind of take, they kind of run with it. And they also found that it's, clients don't call because you're with a certain brand. They call you because you're Helen Archer, right? They call you because you're Tim Her.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what the key factor is. Now, the brokerage will help you, again, to make sure that you're compliant and you do all the stuff that you do. But at the end of the day, running a brokerage is not the easiest thing in the world, but it gives us the flexibility to have the property management company to do commercial transactions, to test out new ideas. I mean, Helen and the other team members will bring a lot of different ideas to the table, and they'll be like, "Hey, can we try this?" And as long as long as it's not illegal and you don't violate license law, usually I'm like, hey, that's fine, let's try it. It may not work, but let's do it, right? So it gives us some flexibility and know-how to make sure that we're top of the game. Again, we're not our name of the we do a lot of marketing to try to get new clients, but we try to maintain the clients and and kind of reach out to our existing data sphere. And so that's kind of how we kind of operate our business. And the culture may not work for everyone.
It's interesting because it just shows that you could be a small brokerage and you could be super successful. You don't
Yeah,
necessarily need to be attached to any specific brand because you are the brand. And
you
that
are.
so resonates, especially in 2026, that you are your own brand and it doesn't matter who you associate with. And you are the testament of that. I mean, you won number one in 2024 and you're a
I'll
small
take
brokerage
it.
out of, Gwinnett County, and you're phenomenal. You're super successful and you know how to do it and you have been doing it on your own. This was your first, I don't know who you worked for before, but I think you started your brokerage really
I,
quick,
I
obviously.
I was a Keller for a long time, so I do appreciate the knowledge from
Mhm.
Keller. I think Helen, you also were a Keller for a hot second,
Yes, I
and
did.
and then I went to a commercial firm. So when the economy was tanking and kind of the real estate was kind of going wayside, I switched over to commercial for several years with Marcel, and I thank him for all my knowledge over there. And then we were able to kind of form our own firm, kind of being a residential firm. And so we have agents that are strictly commercial, and we have agents that are do residentials. And I think that's kind of the flexibility that we always wanted. And since we have the knowledge base from both, and that's kind of how we did that.
And you are such a great ambassador for your company because you have been involved in so many levels of leadership in here locally and at the national level that
Oh,
your
thank you.
team should be very proud of
Oh,
their leader. And so thank you so much. And man, what an incredible masterclass you guys have given me personally today. You both really bring your authenticity to everything you do, and that's what makes you so successful. So thank you. A massive thank you to you guys for dropping so many gems with us today. To our listeners, if you found this episode helpful, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave us a review and share this with any other agent who's ready to scale or
yeah.
open their own brokerage. So until next time, keep building, keep systemizing, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Atlanta Realtors Rundown. See you next time.
Thanks, Helen.
Thank
Bye.
you.